Well, it looks like it is officially noon, so I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome everybody to September 3rd, 2020 Rotary Club of Newport meeting. This is our 20th meeting on Zoom, but who's counting, I guess. So good to see everybody. Does someone want to lead us in the pledge? Any takers? Keith has the flag in the background.
I guess I can do it.
Thanks, Keith.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, well, thanks, Keith. Well done. So we have Dee Teem today. We'll introduce as our speaker in a few minutes. I have a few things from today in history. I had to dig deep. This is all way before my time. 1926, the gangster Harry Lefty Lewis is brought to trial on murder charges in Crook County, Illinois. Throughout the trial, witnesses and its believed jurors had been intimidated by death threats, and the jury acquitted Lewis after only 6 hours of deliberation, despite overwhelming evidence of his guilt. 1939, World War II, Britain declares war on Germany after invasion of Poland. France follows 6 hours later, quickly joined by Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and Canada. And in 1954, the Lone Ranger was heard on the radio for the final time after 2,956 episodes over a period of 21 years. So interesting things that happened today back in history. A couple announcements. We just had our board meeting on Tuesday, and we discussed resuming meetings in person. And given the recent outbreaks in Lincoln City at a couple of the hotels and the fact that there's an elevator involved in getting to and from our meetings at the Shiloh, the board was pretty unanimous in holding off through October. So we'll look at November, depending on how things go for our in-person meetings, and we'll be Zooming in the meantime. And even when we do, we discussed that even when we do get back to in-person meetings, we'll do hybrid meetings. So if if it doesn't always work with people's schedule anyway to get to our meetings at noon, so we'll have the option of hybrid, so you can attend in person or online when we do get back to meeting. And then we also, as a board, voted to extend the $1,000 donation to Food Share for another month. So thanks to the efforts of our Seize the Day group last year, we raised quite a bit of money and able to put that to use towards feeding the less fortunate in the community. So I thought that was a great thing too. Let's see, we have maybe a few announcements from committee members. Diane sent out a vocational committee survey for to find out which dates would work best for everyone if you'd like to participate in the vocational group. Diane, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure, we are hoping to get, I hear an echo. There we go. We're hoping to get 2 groups started, and I have polled all members and I've received 9 back. So if you would please respond to the email that I sent out Monday morning and let me know whether you're interested or not, and then we can get these vocational lunches going. We are restarting those after a few years. They were last actively going when Dale Smith was here, and we hope to get them going, and they will resume on Zoom when we get them started, probably in the October-November timeframe.
Yeah, thanks, Diane. Those were a lot of fun when I attended when Dale was putting those together, and it was really worth attending for sure. And we're also talking about having a meeting with the Corvallis Club and doing some breakout sessions, maybe having small groups get to know members from the other club, which I think would be fun too. One of the things we've been talking about is with the Zoom protocol that we've been following, it's actually really easy to engage with other clubs and maybe even other countries. And I know Keith is working on a friendship exchange too. So we've got some of that in the works. That'll be a lot of fun. And hopefully we'll have more of our previous exchange students join us for meetings too. They're about 9 hours, well, I think most are 9 hours ahead, which is European time zone. So, you know, it's, well, that's not late for kids, but anyway, it's a little bit of a logistical challenge, but that'll be exciting to do some more of that too. So with that said, any other announcements from committee or general announcements?
Hey, Freddie, it's Laura.
Hey, Laura.
I don't have camera today. We're going to have the mini ABCs of Rotary event via Zoom on Tuesday, September 22nd, starting at 5:30. So please look for Zoom information and more information about that coming soon.
All right. Thanks, Laura. All right. Let's see. Sergeant of Arms, Bob, you have anything for us today? Looks like you're still muted.
Bet you can hear me now.
There you go.
You know, I was so easy on the group last week and I was ashamed of myself. And I thought this week I've got to do better. And so I joined the program and it was like someone was looking over me. The big dogs are talking about all their gold stocks. So we're going to start with the big dogs, and we'll have to start with Kathy Heater. I understand that you made a bundle off of your gold in the last week.
No, that would require me to sell something to make even a remote little, and that would require me to raise my prices because I'm underpriced.
Boy, wow, I feel like a fool now.
Yeah, no, that
well,
would.
We've
No.
got to raise something, and you were one of the big dogs, so.
I'm a big dog?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Big dog in the town.
Oh, yes, I am such a big dog in town. Okay, I am nothing if not honest. So I am going to celebrate Dave's and my 36th wedding anniversary.
Oh, my.
And I'm also going to celebrate my birthday.
Oh, my.
So I'm going to be $95 happy towards my Paul Harris.
Wow. Well, I get a couple other big dogs and we're going to have a ton of money. And you know, yes, last week I was at the intersection of Highway 20 and 101. And this guy comes flashing his beautiful car by me and gives me a little beep beep. And I looked over there, and this guy was another one of the big dogs that was bragging about all of his gold and everything. It's Freddie. I mean, I couldn't afford one of the lug nuts on that car, let alone the whole car. You ought to see that car. It is beautiful. Freddie, how much money have you made off your gold this week?
Well, first of all, I don't have any gold. Even my wedding ring is like titanium or something like that. So I don't think I own any gold, maybe a watch or something. But, and yeah,
Let your conscience be your guide.
I know you can afford at least 4 of the cars on, well, more than that, but.
You're paying $400 today?
Okay, I'll pay $100.
Oh, okay.
Just because I haven't been fined in a while.
Well, we'll try to keep that from not happening again. And then the last big dog, and you know who it is, Keith. Don't be looking off to the side. Look me in the eye now. He was bragging about all the gold that he has. Now, how much money have you made in the last week, Keith?
That gold was back in my professional life, Bob, and I've not been involved in that for quite some time now. So it was an imaginary profit. How about that?
No, that's not going to work, Keith. No. You know, you might be a little more careful when you're joining in on these Zoom meetings because I try to get here early, so I'll get some goods on you guys. Now, come on, Keith.
Well, what I was talking about is the base price when it was fixed of gold. So I suppose I could donate a 1981 ounce of gold at $35 to, let's see, let's do it towards Salvation Army. How about that?
That's just perfect. Well, you know, that's probably about 5 times as much as we made last week. But then, Brigitte, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Oh, hi, how are you? Gosh, it's been so long since I've seen you.
Well, I've been at the last couple of Zoom ones, so
Yeah.
You have many faces to keep track of there. So
I do, that's true. Mm-hmm. But I've been hearing nothing but good about the community college and awards and grants and this and that. Maybe you can bring me up to date on some of that.
well, there is, I'm,
You're speechless.
well, I am. Actually, we've had a lot of challenges. We're persevering. It's a very resilient college, but
Oh, yeah.
you know, we've been hit hard by the pandemic and having to really flip everything that we're doing, and taken some financial hits as well. So, but going strong. So, but
Well, how strong are you?
Well, I think this is probably a question for me personally, right? Because it's not really the college that is. The college is always happy, but I'll be happy today. And the last week, let's see, it was my husband's birthday, so we will we'll do $57 for that.
57. We appreciate that very much. By golly.
Number. All right.
Now, there must be some other happy dollars out there because I can see some happy people. So, what was that, Jim?
Well, I'm happy for a couple of reasons. Libby, my fourth daughter, had a little girl on the 1st.
Oh, man, you must be excited about that.
Elsie Catherine Nelson. So I'm $100 happy to the Katie Townsend's help program at the high school. And then since you're so gold conscious, the next time you come in, I'll be happy to give you a gold crown, Bob. And you'll have to pay me, but you'll be able to have some gold in your mouth. How's that sound?
It doesn't sound too good. And the worst part about it is next week I got to go see the guy.
Yeah.
So don't gas me and me wake up with gold front teeth or something.
See you later, buddy.
Yeah. Well, good. I see other happy faces. Anybody want to talk about it?
I'll be $5
Okay,
happy.
Sylvia.
Noemi was able to join. I'll be $5 happy. Noemi was able to join us, just to the general fund.
Oh yeah, Noemi. Hi. How are you?
Bonjour.
It's good to see you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Oh, really? Do you mean that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Bo, you look awful happy. You're muted.
That's the catchphrase of 2020. You're on mute. I am happy. How are you today?
Well, I'm happy.
Bob, I'm going to be a grandpa next year.
Oh, no.
It's a good.
Really?
Yes.
Well, you're too young to be a grandpa, but that's good news.
Yeah, well, we started young. So anyway. Yeah, so I'll be $100 happy to my Paul Harris.
Okay, but just remember to tell us on the big date, huh?
Yes.
Okay, well, congratulations, Bo. That's good.
It's good.
I think we've taken enough happiness out unless somebody wants to volunteer on something else. Hello, anybody? Anybody? Freddie, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
All right. Well, thanks, Bob. Wow, well done. I think we raised some good money today.
Yeah.
And yeah, great to see you, Noemi. We were just talking about it'd be great to see you back on here, and here you are. So welcome. I think I saw Rob Edwards too on with a NOAA background, and I don't even think it was one of those virtual backgrounds. So let's see, today's program is Dee Teem with the Olalla Center. And I always enjoy putting together these introductions because I always learn things that I don't know about fellow Rotarians. So Dee brings 25 plus years of leadership and public administration experience from nonprofit, higher education, and public sectors to her role at Olalla Center. Passionate about supporting vulnerable and marginalized people, Dee serves on the boards of the Oregon Relief Nursery Association and Child Development Network and the IHN CCO Health Equity Committee and Lincoln County Community Advisory Council, Lynn Benton Health Equity Alliance, Oregon Health Authority Community Partner Collaborative, OHA COVID-19 Response Task Force, Lincoln County Latino Community Building Back Better, Interagency Planning Team, and Lincoln County Crisis Outreach Planning Team. Wow, Dee, you're busy. It's a lot of different hats for sure. So I will turn things over to Dee.
Well, thank you, and I'm sorry that my lighting is so poor today, but we're going to go through it. John Zagel, if you would, he was going to help me with the presentation, and we'll look at the Olalla website. Be better to look at than my background. I'm actually going to just close my camera to save some bandwidth here, and then we'll go from there. So this is our new website. It's still under construction, so not everything is here, but most of it is here. And then we'll have some more drill down menus as we continue to update our website. But for those of you who don't know about Olalla, we've been in the community. Olalla Center's been in the community for 40 years, or over 40. It started in 1978. And we provide mental health and community services all across Lincoln County. So some of you have been out to our building. It's in Toledo. We're located in the old Mary Harrison School building, which many people have a fond connection to if they went to school there. Beyond that, we have Forest Hill, which is the Walden Project that you see flashing across the screen there. And that is our outdoor nature connection therapy program located between Newport and Toledo, kind of across from Fruitvale Road. But we also serve children in normal years. We have therapists at all of the Lincoln County schools and charter schools. And we also do services in public venues based on client needs. We'll meet adults at coffee shops if that's their preference. So we're known for really our innovative approach to therapy. We're not bound to traditional talk therapy in any way. So Olalla's mission, I'll just give you what our mission is, what our actual mission statement is, just help strengthen and heal children, families, and our community. And we do that through innovative mental health services and a whole slate of community resources. So with that, John, if you would go to the services tab, and let's start with day treatment. So day treatment is really what Olalla was known for many, many years. It was the first program and a long-lasting program, and is still a very big piece of the work that we do. It is our only program that is open right now to in-person services. We do have extensive outpatient services happening through telehealth, and then, and actually that's not completely true. We do have some outpatient services in person on a limited basis, but day treatment is our only in-person group program that's happening right now. And it's a very small group. And this is our highest needs population of children. And that statement at the top that you see, children do well if they can, a lot of times people believe challenging behaviors are the result of children not wanting to do something. And so in our experience, and in the experience of many, many psychiatrists and researchers who have worked with children with challenging behaviors, we have discovered that it's not that children don't want to do well. It's very rare that children don't want to do well. But children do well if they can is kind of the foundational statement of our treatment model in this program. And what it really means is that if children don't have the skills to do well, they can't do well, right? So this program is all about helping children to develop the skills that they need to do well. And that's on so many levels. So we have lots of programs, so I don't want to dive too deeply into all of them. But yeah, John, you can scroll down if you would there. And you can see all of the services attached to day treatment, include individual, family, wrap meetings, which is wraparound services with other crossover with other social services and all kinds of services. Group therapy, daily activity therapy, and the milieu, and of course, psychiatric consultation is a big part of day treatment, being an intensive treatment program. So with that, I think I'll just wait till the end for questions, but certainly if you have questions along the way about specific programs, please hang on to them or write them down, and then we can go back to answer any questions. So yeah, we can move now to outpatient services. And so outpatient services are really for everyone, anyone in need of mental health services, just a mental health check-in with a counselor. And we help people, a lot of people don't realize this about Olalla Center, is that we serve people of all ages. So not just children and families, but we have a full slate of adult services. We have services for young adults, teenagers, and all the way through the age spectrum. So, and I'll talk about some of those different age groups and some of the other specific programs. But really, as you can see from this page on our website, we don't take a one-size-fits-all approach to mental health treatment. We really do assess each individual's needs, and then we provide them the services that make the most sense for them. And so, yeah, thank you, John. Down at the bottom of the page there, you can see the individual, family, group psychotherapy, group activity therapy, which are two different things. Skills training, and then of course case management is providing all of those pieces that help community members connect and manage their care. And so our approach, again, we do talk therapy, we do traditional psychotherapy in offices, but for the most part, we do innovative approaches to therapy to meet people's needs. So, for example, if an adult is not comfortable sitting on a couch talking to somebody about whatever they may be struggling with, we can do it like where you're walking side by side on the beach, sharing your concerns and working with your therapist to move through that. And sometimes it's a simple thing as eye contact, where you're side by side versus having to look someone in the eye and talk about what's bothering you. Makes a huge difference. The movement, just moving while you're talking, it seems really simple, and just saying it out loud sounds funny to me, but walking on the beach versus sitting on a couch in an office you're unfamiliar with can make all the difference in progressing through treatment. when you're comfortable and in an environment that's of your own choosing. So, so it's different for every person, and the environment may be different for every person that they choose to participate in therapy in. So, and just for clarification, psychotherapy is more around issue-based, just very, very oversimplified version, but it's issue-based, where activity therapy is exactly what it sounds like. That might be doing art, journaling, music. It really is based around activities. So we can move to services again and pick, let's see, let's go to Relief Nursery. Yeah, so the Relief Nursery, Olalla Center is part of the Oregon Association of Relief Nurseries, which is a statewide organization. This is a program for parents of children who are 0 to 6 years old. I noticed a little mistake on our website here. It says just for foster care, but it is part of the intention of this program is to avoid entering into the foster care system. So certainly we serve children who are already engaged in the foster care system, but we also are working towards preventing that from happening. So we're working with high-risk families who may be in jeopardy of their children entering foster care. And so the intention is really to keep families together or to reunify families who have been separated in the foster care system. Again, it's for very young children, 0 to 6. It is not a preschool. So a lot of people confuse Relief Nursery with preschool. It grows and has a component of that. Right now, as we are an emerging Relief Nursery, it's a new program for Olalla, started last year. And it starts with, I don't want to just read through this for you. You all can read. But it really starts with the parent education and an experiential learning with parents and children learning together. And then reinforcing the skills that parents are learning, both in their parent education classes, and then also many are in family therapy with us and individual therapy. So it builds on those skills that they're learning when they are actually in the classroom with their children doing the experiential learning together. And it's guided learning where the therapist and the teacher are in the room and helping to make gentle corrections or guidance as parents are working with their children. There are many services attached to that. All the Relief Nursery families, as appropriate, can access the other Olalla services that meet their needs. And there is a respite component and a home visiting component. And respite allows parents to have a break while their children are engaging in skill building activities and activity therapy. We can move on to the Walden Project. And again, the Walden Project, many of you are familiar with Walden from having been out to the Forest Hills site. And thank you again for all of you who helped with us to create the base camp there. This is our outdoor therapy program that utilizes the 8 Shields model of mentoring and really infuses that nature connection into the therapeutic work. A lot of this is activity-based therapy. We do have individual and family therapy available. We also do Walden Project for adults. So a lot of people think of just the kids, but we do this with adults as well, usually with individuals. And we were considering moving to groups, but with COVID, we're not moving to groups anytime soon. Or, well, who knows? Who knows what the world will bring us? Hopefully, it won't be too far off. So, yeah, the Walden. What else should I pull out here for you with this? This is very, this is a very culturally infused program. It pulls from, I believe, 92 different cultures around the globe, is what the 8 Shields model. I could be wrong with that number, but it's, I could correct that later for you if somebody is interested in the number of cultures that it pulls from. But it really is a well-vetted, grounded program based on many years of research and work in the natural world. And it's just a model that works really, really well for children, again, versus having like talk therapy in an office. So we can move from that to what's Pegasus program. Talk about the horses. So I love this sweet picture, and this is very much what the Pegasus program looks like in reality. This is horse-assisted therapy that teams our mental health professionals with horses, and in a very kind of mirroring model where they're mirroring behaviors. It is an evidence-based, EGALA model is an evidence-based practice and a recognized therapeutic service. It is a mental health service, so unlike other programs in our community that are therapeutic riding, those are not mental health programs. They're very beneficial and really good programs, and we partner with them. But this is an actual mental health service, and you would have to have a mental health assessment and diagnosis to participate in the Pegasus program. It looks a lot like walking out into a corral. Well, it is walking out into a corral with loose horses, and kind of getting to know them and having a discussion around that. So again, it's kind of a snapshot view and oversimplified. So if you have questions about that, I'm happy to answer any questions there. This again is for children, families, and adults. And in non-COVID times, we have a parent group as well. So this is a really fun way for parents to work together on therapeutic concerns, often regarding their children. Okay, so we can go to the Bravery Center. And the Bravery Center is new. It's a pilot program through IHNCCO, which is the Coordinated Care Organization here in Lynn, Benton, and Lincoln counties. And so it's funded for startup this first year, and then it becomes sustainable through mental health programs and other supports. And this acronym keeps growing, I think, in an effort for inclusivity and awareness. But for those of you who may not be familiar with what this acronym stands for, I'll just read it. It's lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer or questioning, intersex, asexual, two-spirit, and the plus is for the countless affirmative ways in which people choose to self-identify. So these resources are really specific to the Bravery Center community. And as you can see from the calendar there, they have ongoing events, and they connect with all these various groups. As you scroll down there, John, there's resources, and they have ongoing supports. They have a Danielle Walsh is a mental health therapist with Olalla Center who focuses on our LGBTQ plus community. So, so we have all kinds of resources around the Bravery work. Beck Johnson is the Bravery Center director and has lived experience with this community as well. So there's a lot of community connection happening with Bravery, and it's really building momentum. So that's an exciting new program, and piece of service and population that we're working with. So we could move forward to community health. Yeah, and this is a good example of where our website still needs some updating. But our community health workers do outreach in the community. This program is very focused, it serves all vulnerable people. So the common thread is anyone in poverty, anyone vulnerable and marginalized who is struggling and needs health support of any kind. And then our community health workers will go to their home. They will identify resources that they need, anything, including food boxes. We partner with all the food sites to get food out to people. We're partnering with Ursula over at Samaritan and her program, or their programs, to do prescription food, get food to people 55 and over who are in the household, and to connect with OHP. If people don't have health insurance coverage, OHP is available based on income levels. Even undocumented people, there are resources, which I can't remember what the acronym stands for, but it's CALM, and that is for some emergency health coverage for people who aren't documented. And then our health workers help with all kinds of navigation, even making doctor's appointments. If you think about it, if you don't speak the language, it's really hard to navigate and even make a simple doctor's appointment. So our health workers will help with translation and health system navigation, all things health related, or people with learning disabilities or literacy issues. We work with a lot of vulnerable people who have concerns of all kinds and just need a little extra help to connect to healthcare. And then back to under services, John would, the last one, sorry guys, I know we have a lot, community education, yes. And this is a new piece, and we only have this one class showing here right now, and this is actually a Spanish second language class for adult learners who already speak and understand Spanish, but who come from regions where Spanish is not the first language, so it's their Spanish skills are not very strong, but it will help. It's an easier way to matriculate into this country as far as learning Spanish language, because we have so many Spanish speakers who can work with them and interpret for English. And in their native languages, many of the Mayan and indigenous languages from Guatemala, for example, there just aren't any translators in this country yet because the children haven't grown up here yet. Yeah, it's just in 10 years it'll be self-correcting. But for now, this is a really helpful piece for adults who are immigrating to our country. So, and then we have, it's not listed on here, but we have Club de Amigos, which is a friends club for children and also provides respite for parents. Need it. And that, I think, is everything on services. And I don't want to take too much time. So I was going to just show you our team really quickly under the About section, if you want to scroll to our team. And Olalla has 27 staff. You can just scroll slowly through, John, if you would. And this is our sweet team of therapists and healthcare workers. And they're not all on here. We're still updating. There's 27 in total, but you can see some of the faces attached to the programs. And the pictures are pretty, are as unique as our individuals. So It's not uniform like some very corporate looking sites, but it really is reflective of the human beings who work with Olalla Center and their unique approaches. And then each down arrow gives you a little bit more information on each therapist or health worker. So with that, I will just announce that from the facilities side, we have, and you can just go back to the main page, I guess, John. On the facility side, for those of you who are familiar with the Mary Harrison School building and came out and helped with some of the painting on the primer, we are building out the 7 new therapy offices, 3 new administrative offices and front lobby, and reorienting the whole building to the front parking lot for easier accessibility. And that work will be wrapping up in about 3 weeks. So as I was going to show pictures of that, but it's just all framing, so it doesn't really look like anything yet. So I'll share pictures in the future of the finished work so you all can see where we've gone since the last time you visited. And that's all I have. That's all about Olalla. Thank you for letting me share.
Well, thanks, Dee. Anybody have any questions for Dee? Doretta?
So you may have already answered this question. I wasn't listening, Dee, but how many of those people are staff and versus volunteers?
Those are all staff. So
do you have volunteers?
We do. We have volunteers in our mentoring program. So we, if you look at the website and scroll down the About section to the volunteers, it'll show the different volunteer opportunities. We use volunteer mentors in our Walden project with our outdoor work. When we do, I didn't mention the surf groups for kids with autism, but when we're doing surf groups, we utilize community volunteers to help with safety there. But all the people on the website are actual employees, aside from our board members. They are all volunteers.
Any other questions, Jim?
Dee, yes. Do you work with Blue Horizons with the equestrian part?
We do. We partner with it's Bright Horizons, I believe, but so they do therapeutic riding where children actually ride on the backs of horses, and the Gala model is more like groundwork, walking out into a corral with loose horses. But they will sometimes have children who need the mental health services versus just the good sort of therapeutic benefits of riding horses. And then Denise Leonard, our Gala therapist, will go out and partner with Bright Horizons. We've done a lot of that work in the past when we share kids.
Great.
Dee, I have a question. This is Keith. Do you, since the pandemic, and last week Amy was talking about her kids being, or the soccer kids being all depressed, do you have specific things going on to address the kids in the pandemic and what's going on, or what special programs or special things do you have going on for that?
Yeah, it's been really tough. There's we've seen depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, all going up. And so we have support groups online, so kids can engage with us that way. The Bravery Center has specific bravery support groups. And then we're just doing a tremendous amount of individual and group therapy to address needs. So yeah, that's, and so if anyone needs that or is interested in those services, they can just connect with us either through the website or just call Olalla Center, and we'd be happy to help connect people with a support group. skills training. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, really is engaging. It's even if we're doing it online, it's activity based. So it's very, instead of just like me talking, it's a lot more movement. It's a lot more get up and go search for some pine cones, come back, we're gonna do this. It feels a lot different than just this kind of format. So I don't know if that makes sense, but with the kids, it's very helpful to get them up and get them moving.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Dee? All right, well, thanks, Dee. Boy, what an incredible resource for our community the Olalla Center is, and you're sure doing a great job of running things over there. So as usual, we're gonna vaccinate 50 children against polio in your name. Thanks for being our program today. That was a great one.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
And let's see, Keith, I'll turn it over to you for makeup or for attendance, I guess.
Okay, today we had 33 regular members, so we're right at, well, just a tad under 50%, 48%. And one guest, Noemi, joined us today, which was great. I'm going to reach out to some of our other, I'm friends with them on Facebook, some of our other exchange students, and see if I can get them to join in, and maybe we can get some of them to come back and join us for a meeting. That might be fun. Our member incentive today was Laura Kimberly. Sorry, Laura. And the 50-50 drawing spun the wheel, and Sandy was our winner today, and it was $55 total, so it's $27.50, Sandy. And that's it.
All right.
Keith, I was going to say I'll donate mine to the Olalla Center.
Thank you,
okay,
Sandy.
thank you, Sandy.
Yeah, that's great. And let's see, John, how about the media award?
Yeah, I think Mark told me it's worth $15 today, and it's Jeff Ouderkirk, who I don't see on here today, so I think next week it'll be worth 20.
Wow.
Yeah, speaking of Jeff, I was going to make sure Bob knew that Jeff is celebrating his, well, let's see, he joined Newport Rotary in 1982. So what's that make? 38 years. Wow. This month.
Write that down.
And then we have also we have Paul and, well, let's see, Paul Kimberly 1 year this month, and Jim and Peggy Walker 1 year as of this month. And I don't think any of them are here, so we can get them next time. All right, so next week we're going to have another great program. We have Oregon Coast Glassworks Ballet at 2400 Degrees is the program, with Robin Murphy, who's the co-owner of Oregon Coast Glassworks. Great to see so good of attendance today, especially on a sunny day like this. I think 35 is a pretty good 50% isn't bad for Zoom, so getting better. And let's see, anyone want to take us out with the 4-way test?
Hey, Freddie, before you do that, can we just announce the Habitat fundraiser?
Sure.
That I saw John sent out an explanation of it, but what it is next Wednesday and Saturday, if you drive your coins to the bank parking lot, we will take them and run them, and all of the proceeds will go to Habitat for Humanity. And they're, you know, Freddie, you're on the board. You know that it's the last push to finish the duplexes, and then the next project is to start 2 houses in Lincoln City. So if you have those coins, and Bob, I don't think you've brought your coins in yet. You have sent half the children you have in with their coins, but I haven't seen your coins yet. So Wednesday,
I think you're muted. I can't hear a word you're saying.
So Wednesday or Saturday, I will expect Bob's coins to go to Habitat.
Julie, who did you say sent out the email? Because I don't.
John. I think John Zagel, didn't you send it out?
Yeah, I did. I'll resend it after the meeting.
And Bob, who you should really get, does anyone on the call own Apple stock?
I think my son does.
So Richard should be
Yes.
paying right now, and so should Jeff, because if you've looked at that, it has been skyrocketing. So those are the big dogs right now, right, Richard?
Julie, have you looked at the market today?
No, I've been working today. Did it take it
yeah,
up?
they took a little bit of a nosedive.
Specifically Apple stock?
The entire market is down over 1,000 points.
So Bob,
say, Julie, I'm wondering if Bob, you know, I could see him getting the dump truck in there, but you know, with Bob with these coins would probably need the pup. Can he get a dump truck and a pup over to your bank, or how is he going to do that? They'll have to.
I don't know, because his son told me that it is immense. He's probably got some gold in there too that he's been saving. So we will see. But I don't know. So
Well,
anyway,
in Bob's defense, he does have to pay for 200 vests now for the homeless people who walk on Highway 20, which I thought was a very generous donation, Bob.
You know, and we can't get anyone to pick up the vests now.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, we phoned the police department. They won't even phone back. I think we'll just drop them off.
Bob, was that because you were afraid you were going to hit someone on your way home from Clearwater?
No comment. I can't hear you. You are muted.
Okay. And why don't sometime you ask Guy about the coins he brought in to me? Because
Only Guy
fine
could.
in there. And then I'll stop talking.
Oh yeah. Well, we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to stop.
I brought in enough coins, so hey, Bob, I brought in enough coins that when Julie tried to lift it, she hurt her back.
I did. I did, but there was also some gold in there, and there was gold I didn't want to touch, and I had to touch it. So
Oh my
why
God.
don't you share what that was, Guy?
Yeah, what was it, Guy? Guy?
Oh, he's muted. It's probably
muted.
gold crowns out of his mouth.
That's what it was.
Bob, that's what you have to watch out for when you get gold crowns. The
Yeah, well, we
families
won't
are
get gold
after
crowns.
everything they can get, and you've got a big family.
So bring me your clean coin.
Yeah, thanks for the announcement, Julie. That is a good point about Habitat, and they're actually finishing up their, hopefully finishing up the duplex and moving in the first homeowner this month, hopefully before the end of the month. So that's good news, and she's really excited to be in there. So, all right, any volunteers for the four-way test? Keith has an easy script right behind him there. Julie was on a roll. You want to take us out with that, Julie?
Yes, of course. Here, I'll get my.
She's got the prop.
So the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Is it beneficial to all concerned? And is it fun? Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Julie. Well, good to see everybody again this week, and have a wonderful holiday weekend, and hope to see you all next week.